From Perth Terminal main bus station, we took a bus to our next and as well last destination on our road trip through Albania, located more in the south of the country. This time, it was not a big non-AC bus like we had from Tirana to Berat. It was a smaller and really comfortable minibus, mostly filled with travelers and a few locals. The drive took us almost 4 hours, with a small half-an-hour break in the middle of the nowhere, and the one-way ticket costed 1,000 Albanian lek, what is around 8.40 euros. As we were driving more and more towards the south, the landscape was getting more and more spectacular and magnificent. To be honest, I slept through most of the ride, which is really not that unusual for me. If I'm tired, I can fall asleep easily, no matter if I'm in the bus, plane, or a car. So here we are, my friends. I welcome you to Gjirokastër. And thank you, Ugi, once again, for carrying the bag while I could film. We arrived to Gjirokastër around 5 p.m, so we literally ran down the hill to visit the most important site of the town, Skenduli House. Skenduli House is a typical, authentic and best preserved Ottoman house in the old town of Gjirokastër. It is originally built in the 1700s by Skender Skenduli and is owned by Nasip Skenduli, descendant of the family. The house underwent a partial restoration in 1827. During the communist era, it was taken from the family and used as the ethnographic museum, but was later returned to the family. Everything inside is original. Even outside the surrounding 17 meters high fortified wall is original as well. The tour of the house is usually done by one of the members of the family and gives an interesting look at the day-to-day living, gender roles and the celebratory tradition during the Ottoman period. The structure of the house shows that this house has been the richest house in Gjirokastër because it had 9 fireplaces, the more fireplaces richer the family, 6 bathrooms, 12 rooms, 44 doors, 64 windows and 4 hammam, Turkish baths. The first room on the ground floor we visited was the storage room. Interesting fact is that in every 1 meter of the wall they were putting the wood of the chestnut because it was a strong wood and could protect the house from the earthquakes. And this is a bunker that could fit up to 70 people.
This is the only house in Gjirokastër that has a bunker from 1700.
As the refrigerator for meat, cheese and the other foods, they used this room space.
This is filled from the rain. It's rainwater which collects water.
In every traditional Gjirokastër house like this one, family would collect the water from the rain during the winter through the pipes from the top of the roof and use the water during the summer.
1,000 liters inside.
In this house, the rainwater system is still working.
It's a lot of water. Yeah, it was for the whole summer.
Let's go now to the second floor. This pretty big room was the easiest one to warm in the house, because it is located in the middle second floor and was used as a living room and also as the guest room. In the closet, they would put curtains and blankets for sleeping.
With mattresses. Here was storage to keep the mattresses and the blankets. During the house,
I enjoyed so much all the little details in the room.
pipes.
It gave the house much better understanding of the time back then. This is the kitchen, where it was only eaten. It was cooked outside to avoid the smell of the cooking. The kitchen is also directly above the bunker.
Fire, move like this for 20 minutes. Fresh coffee, traditional coffee. Do you know
Here,
Turkish coffee?
the famous tasty Turkish coffee was grounded and later roasted as well.
There was storage for the mattresses, the blankets. During the daytime, this room used for
The second room was used during the winter for the guests. In 1700s, the guests were actually men, so when they would be in the room, the woman was not allowed to enter inside. So the wife would have to look through these small windows up here how many people are inside the room. Then prepare the coffee, knock on the door, and the husband would open and take the coffee. Now, the third floor. Balcony was used for the summertime. The men would sit here drinking Turkish coffee, traditional raki, water, smoke, enjoy the view, the nature, the fresh air breeze. Here you can also see the pipe system for the collecting the rainwater during the winter. This room is for the newlyweds, for the newest married couple of the family. The couple would stay here until the next couple in the family would get married.
The grandparents had
And this one room is for the older people, like grandparents.
yeah, but the new couple they don't need a bathroom.
In this family room, they had these small closets on the side of the walls, where they were keeping cosmetic things and similar stuff. Here, you can also see one of the 9 fireplaces in the house.
Is the fruits. Okay, they
On the back of the room, they would keep dried fruits, vegetables, as well as some nice plates and similar.
it's the rice, flour, so they kept the food there. There is also a little sink and a door there to wash the dishes and
This is the winter room for the newlyweds, but they also had the Turkish hammam, or Turkish steam bath, one of the 4 ones that the house had. And now, the last room. So, back in the 17th century, when the wedding was celebrated or when the funeral was happening, women and men were not allowed to stay together in the same room. They stayed in separated rooms, and this was the room for the ladies. In this room, there was also one hammam, Turkish bath.
to be separated.
There was one more room we visited, but we were not allowed to film inside. But it was the room for men, similar to the one we saw for the women, and it was used only for wedding ceremonies. It has 15 stained glass windows and looks stunning. Now, let's go to the Old Town. Gjirokastër Old Town is a beautiful Ottoman-style bazaar, originally constructed in the 17th century and completely rebuilt in the 19th century following a devastating fire. It is very small but very fun to explore, with all the little shops, cafes and restaurants. It is very easy to understand why they consider the Gjirokastër Old Town the most beautiful place in Albania, with all the serpentine streets decorated with a gorgeous interlacing pattern made from white and black stone. The old bazaar in Gjirokastër, called by locals as Kafa e Pazarit, is in the center of the old town. Here, you can still find some artisans working in the old way, and locals are trying hard to pass the craftwork to new generations, so you can still find some authentic Albanian handmade crafts like rugs or ceramics. But as in every bazaar around the world, there are a lot of shops with mass-made souvenirs like t-shirts, magnets and similar. As the night was approaching and bars and restaurants started to get full, there was of course some live traditional Albanian music. We were quite tired this evening, so we actually didn't go to any of the bars, but directly for the dinner. We had some salad, Ogi had moussaka, and I had some kind of meatballs. That was end of the day for us. Good morning from Gjirokastër, everyone. I have to admit something to you. We didn't manage to wake up with the sunrise this morning. But still, even around 7-8ish o'clock, the view from our balcony over the valley was magical. In the distance, we could see the old castle where we will go later. Our hotel was pretty much up in the hill, really hard to get there with a suitcase over the stony roads, but in the morning, when we saw this magnificent view, it was all worth it. Around 9 o'clock, the castle was opening, so we were on our way. A few meters before the castle, we noticed this platform from where you can also get a great view over the town and the old houses. Now, welcome to the Gjirokastër Castle. Construction of the walls began as early as the 6th century, some sources say even the 3rd century. In this long gallery, lined with artillery pieces, all of the guns were either abandoned or captured from the Italian and German occupation forces during the World War II. Gjirokastër Castle is sometimes also referred to as Argjiro, after a legendary princess to Albanian folklore, who, according to the local tales, lived in the 15th century and jumped off the Gjirokastër Castle with her baby to avoid being caught alive by the Ottoman enemies. In the 18th century, this beautiful clock tower was erected. Up until the 1970s, The fortress served as a notorious prison under Albania's communist regime. This plane that is here exhibited is a recovered US Air Force jet that was shot down during the communist era. The pilot was believed to be a spy, but was later on sent home, safe and sound. After visiting the castle, it was time for some delicious breakfast at the hotel. We had this little magical balcony with a splendid view, all for ourselves, and the family owning the hotel was very kind and polite. They even had this list with some phrases in Albanian, translated in English, that we can understand each other better. So sweet. No, sugar. No. Okay. No. Okay, cheers to beautiful Gyrocaster. The food in Albania was so tasty. My friends, this was our last day in Albania. We made so many nice memories in this great country. I'm so happy and grateful that we had a chance to experience it, and I hope I managed to share with you the warmth and beauty of this country. Now, for us it means back on the road again. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.